programs or certain case studies. So during this particular time, that means you do have your internship or summer internship or winter internship, which is a 4 or 6 weeks duration. You have to do certain industry projects. Now we came across certain scenarios wherein there were certain projects, but the students were not aware of it, what they have to do it. So this is a kind of series wherein we are creating awareness on these two technologies, be it data science, be it cybersecurity. So every month we are conducting this webinars such that when the need arises, you are aware ki what you are expected for. Fine. So we'll just start with the things right now. So we started in the year 2017 and we are into web development, data analytics, BI, lot of current IT things. We have tied up with 25 plus institutions and we have already trained 5,000 students. We do have corporate clients. So these corporate clients require certain interns or candidates for their certain projects. That's why we are creating awareness among the students such that when the need arises, they can easily crack these opportunities. Right? So our objective is to fill the industry academia gap. So there is a skill gap which we are currently facing. Take in the case of cybersecurity, there is a gap of 40,000 people. Fine. And there is a huge exposure and huge requirement. So how do you fill into it? What is your capability? How do you build your capability? This is going to be the webinar wherein we are going to learn all these things. Fine. What we are doing. Right. So we are into business analytics. We are into artificial intelligence. We are into cybersecurity. We are into IoT enabled. We are into internship and placement rates. So how do the placement or the internship opportunities come up? So you people have registered, you people have got a link. Now you can see your or check your emails frequently, wherein the opportunities are going to be posted regular on our LMS. Fine. And you can practice certain things because all these companies which are offering internship, they undertake a test. Fine. So you can practice on those particular lines. So we have model question papers also over here. Where we are based out of or where we are currently operating from Noida, Faridabad, Jaipur, Ujjain, Pune, Bangalore, Chennai and Bihar also. Internationally, we are in London, Sydney and Cape Town. These are our prime corporate clients. HCL, Team Computers, India TV. Me and my partner or colleague, Mr. Rajinder, he's a data scientist. We both worked with HCL. Probably we worked with HCL for nothing less than 10 years. These are the institutions wherein we are having certain trainings going on. And these are our key partners. Certiport is meant for taking examination. Microsoft is offering certain programs. IBM is offering certain programs. Cambridge. And we are partnering with leading cybersecurity company called EC Council. Right. So I'll be handing over to Mr. Kapil Bhardwaj. Mr. Kapil Bhardwaj is having close to 2 decades of experience in cybersecurity domain. Kapil, over to you.
Perfect. Thank you for the quick introduction here. Really appreciate it. I'm just going to switch on my camera here so that our listeners can put a face to the voice here. Okay. I hope I'm audible and I can be seen. My video is visible to you guys. Hello.
Well, your audio is working fine and you're visible on the screen. We can see you.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you, Kishore. Thank you so much. So, well, first of all, a very good morning on for Friday here, and I see before the, I hope this is going to be a good informative lesson for you guys just before your weekend, and I guess it will give enough time for our listeners to assimilate the things which we bring up and the topics we talk about. I'm just going to share my screen here so that you guys can see the presentation. And I'll start uh, with the topic. Just give me a second. Okay, so well, since the topic of the day is we're going to talk about cybersecurity and its verticals, and I see when I and my, as per my experience, what I see is when I talk to students coming from different field, from different backgrounds, or people who are just in they're trying to make a decision to choose between different subjects in their bachelor's of technology here in India, or people who have already chosen cybersecurity as their career in their respective colleges or universities, or the third group of people I come across are people who are actually in their final year and they're confused. They're trying to find out what will be the best field to go for, considering if they want to consider the ROI, the return on investment, after 5 or 10 years down the line. So this is this topic is something which is very close to me because I've been in this field for almost 18 plus years now, and I try to share the best of my knowledge with people who are trying to find out more about cybersecurity. So this slide is my quick introduction. I am myself. I'm Kapil Bhardwaj. I'm a CISSP designate. This is one of the fourth most difficult exam in cybersecurity. And when you pass the exam, you get to write this designation with your name. It's similar to like we write doctor, we write CA, or an advocate. So in the field of cybersecurity, we are fortunate enough that we do get a designation when you obviously pass this exam. A good exam that really tests your nerve, your patience, and your perseverance. And I've been blessed enough that I was able to crack this exam. I'm also SANS certified. That's like the gold standard for cybersecurity in North America. I did my risk assessment certification from India, and I've got maybe another 20 plus more certifications, which I normally I don't even write on my resume anymore. Because these certificates kind of supersede them a lot. And I'm proud that I'm a board member for SANS. This is something which this is an invite only membership, where when you score more than 95% marks in one of the SANS, in any of the SANS certification, then the actual director of SANS send you an invite to join. There are all throughout the world, we have only 4,000 people so far who have been uh, bestowed with this title to come and join the board for SANS. And Freud Technologies is my sponsor here, and I'm working in collaboration with them. It's been a great journey with Freud Technology so far, and especially Mr. Rajendra is a good friend of mine. Now, after this quick discussion, I'll quickly jump to the topic here. No, first of all, I would try to answer the basic questions here. What is cybersecurity? And does anyone want to take a sorry? Did somebody say anything? Was it just a noise? Okay, sorry. I thought I heard somebody saying something, but that's completely fine. So in terms of when we are talking about cybersecurity, the first question that comes to our mind is what it is exactly. What's this hype about cybersecurity? We talk about hackers. We have seen a gazillion of movies, and I'm quite sure you guys must be you guys must have seen the Matrix, all the three parts of Matrix as well. Am I correct? Any answers?
Yes.
Yeah. So right. So it's that's the thing. Like we have been talking. There is just so much hype about cybersecurity. Usually we only talk about that being an hacker, but that's just like one tiny piece of this entire cybersecurity definition here. One of the definition, it has a very broader I'll say coverage actually when you talk about cybersecurity. As per one of the definitions I've found from my research, very simple and easy to understand. Cybersecurity is the practice of actually protecting critical systems and sensitive informations from digital attacks. So this is basically, we are just trying to protect our key assets, the crown jewels any organization. That could be your company, that could be your house, your home office, or it could be your it could be your business as well. And it is also known as it's a cybersecurity measures are basically designed to combat threats against network systems and applications, whether those threats originate from inside or outside of an organization. So this is a very neat definition about cybersecurity here, without any technical jargons. I hope that it is understandable to our listeners here. Do you have any questions? I can elaborate more on the definition. Any questions from the audience here, or shall I proceed? Okay, no questions. I'll proceed
Sorry to
further.
interrupt. Sorry to interrupt,
Yes,
Kapil.
yes,
Just humble request to all participants. You can have your questions note down in your notebook. We'll be having
sure.
a question session once we complete it, and then you can take the questions, Kapil.
Fair enough. That's a good call. We can go that way as well. That's perfectly fine.
Thank you, Kapil. Thank you. Please.
Thank you, Kishore. Really appreciate it. So this is when we talk about hackers, or when we talk about hacking an organization, or we're talking about that we talk about breaches, we talk about scams. So that's just, as I said, that's just one side of cybersecurity. It's actually I'll say, quote unquote, it's the illegal side of cybersecurity. What we are trying to do here, we are trying to protect people, or we want to work for the organization to come to actually m- have a meaningful and an impactful result for the organization. We are the people who are actually trying to protect the organization, or our crown jewels, by applying our knowledge here in cybersecurity. Now, further to that, just to entice your interest here, I was doing some research, and I found out like the figures for data breaches across globally in 2020 was $3.86 million on an average. That's the cost of one like that's the average loss of what do you say when a company goes through a data breach. In India itself, the total what we are looking at is we have reached about 17.9 crores Indian rupees in 2023 itself. And the most interesting figure here is actually this cyber crime or the loss due to data breach or due to cyber crimes have increased by almost 28% since 2020. So that's quite a jump of approximately 30% in about, let's say, 2.5 years. So it is becoming quite important that we are able to train forces. We are able to produce some quality cybersecurity professionals to protect our organizations, to protect us from cybersecurity threats here. So this is something, well, where I'll what do you say, I'll put my money on, like on a profession where I see there is the need is growing. It's not becoming stagnant. It's not becoming something which will be replaceable by something else. And we'll just do a quick exercise on Google itself, in like to, just to make it more interactive here. I'm just going to go here to and punch in Google, and let's North India, or actually, let's do a broader search. So just if I just look at just LinkedIn, and I've put my filter really strict here. I'm talking about like maybe uh, not more than what do you say, any job postings which are not more than 1 day old. We're still looking at maybe 82 plus something, roughly about 100 jobs here. And there's another one, like if I could just do a search on naukri.com, it talks about 628 jobs, security analyst jobs. And believe me, as we'll progress in this presentation, security analyst or SOC analyst is just one of the core fields you can get into. And yeah, there you go, LinkedIn. This is like a more comprehensive collection of the data here. It says about 1,000 plus cybersecurity analyst jobs. These are like the entry level positions in cybersecurity here. So that's just to give you a rough idea on what we are talking about and how's the growth and what are the requirements here. And if I do it like, so I'm a North American. If I just do the search in North America or United States itself, this is the number here. 33,000 plus security analyst jobs just in the United States alone. And trust me, in India, we are catching up very fast, as we are suffering, or we are continuously being bombarded by cybersecurity attacks from different countries or malicious actors within the country itself. So this number is in India itself is going to go is going to skyrocket in next coming my what my forecast is, I see about in 2 to 3 years. So there's a huge potential. If you get into this field at this point of time, this is the right time to get into this field and train for this field to produce quality cybersecurity services to our clients here. Now, going back to my presentation again. Excuse me. So here's my quick division of cybersecurity verticals here. When I talk about cybersecurity, like the first thing which comes to my mind, or this is something what I tell to my students or people I'm mentoring or counseling here, I talk about this is how the the uh, the landscape of cybersecurity looks like. So once you get into cybersecurity, you've got these many, about maybe 7 fields which you can actually get into. One of this is information security. Second is IT auditing and consulting. And thirdly, we are talking about ethical hacking and penetration testing. I'm quite sure that this word is quite familiar to for majority of our listeners here. But we are, as I said, but we are on the ethical side of business. So this is called, sorry, did somebody say something? Okay. So this is the ethical hacking and penetration testing. We talk about threat intelligence. That's another vertical here. Software development. Yes, even software developers can get into cybersecurity field as well. Then we've got digital forensics here, and lastly is cryptography. And I'm going to discuss these sub verticals in more detail in our upcoming slides here. So the first field is we talk about information security. So the way I have, if you're trying to look at my slides, the way I have, what do you say, dissected my slide into three parts. The center of obviously the center part is announcing the name of the subvertical here in whatever the subvertical is in cybersecurity. On the left hand side, I talk about what are the positions or what are the name of the positions you can search for, like if you're trying to get into this information security vertical, and what are you expected to do. So this if you have any questions, sorry Kishore, I'm just bypassing, oh sorry, that the unspoken, the spoken rule we had,
No
questions
issues, no issues,
for
no
the
issues,
end.
please.
It's just, yeah, it's just for this slide, so that I want my listeners to be very familiar with what I'm talking about, so that we don't have um, a lot of confusion. So I hope if I'm clear to you guys. In case yes, then we can bypass that rule. You can quickly ask that question. I'll answer, and then for the more detailed questions, we'll keep it to the end of the session. Am I good to go, sir?
Yes.
Perfect, perfect. Sounds good. Okay, so when we talk about cybersecurity verticals, we see the first field we are talking about is information security. And on my left hand side, this is good for entry level jobs. If you're trying to get into cybersecurity, this is where I started my career. Well, actually, I should take my words back. I when I started my career, I started as fixing computers. Like a computer repair technician, but I was super overqualified because I had my master's with me as well. So I did get promoted to network. It was what was I'm sorry, I'm just trying to recall the title I got. So it was more like a senior network technician, something like that. So basically, that was to I was expected to go to small businesses and set up servers, set up VPN connections, set up their routers, set up their firewalls, etc., etc. And from there, I got I got enticed by this field of security, and I started working. I started researching more on security, cybersecurity, how I can use my knowledge, how I can actually first of all learn to implement cybersecurity to improve the posture, and then I started applying that knowledge in the real field itself. And with the blessings of my parents and my god and the god, I was able to excel in this field. And yeah, I'm sitting here in front of you giving an expert lecture, on cybersecurity. So anyhow, so in this information security, as I said, if you're looking for if you're looking to get into the job, you can look for security analysts. These are the positions. Sorry, this is the name of one of the position with which it is advertised. And secondly, you can look for security engineers as well. So this is, as I said, this is an entry level position. If you have done your diploma, 3 years diploma, and you have attained good cybersecurity training, and from like I know we are doing we've got superb and excellent module in cybersecurity at Freud Technologies, which can actually equip you with the required experience and with the required certifications to actually get into the entry level positions in information security. We can talk in more details afterwards, and yeah, I'll try to stick to the topic here. Excuse me. On the right hand side, what are you expected to do actually in this field? So in if you join as a security analyst or a security engineer, the first thing which is expected of you is you should be good in network security. You should be good in, well, application security, like good in, when I talk about good, I say good would be a person who has his or her fundamentals clear. I do not expect you to be acquainted with each and every technology available in the industry, because there are gazillions, and every client or every company will have a different what do you say, infrastructure of cybersecurity. But what we expect you is you have a solid hold on your fundamentals in network security and application security slash application, sorry, I shouldn't use the word and I'll use or or you can have knowledge in both. That would be cherry on the cake. Secondly,
Andu?
you are expect, sorry, you're expected to do the investigations and documentations of data breaches or data leaks, like on daily basis. So you may be working in shifts in 24/7 in bigger organizations, or you can be working, let's say 9 to 5. Usually 8 hours is, I haven't really come across cybersecurity jobs which are strictly confined to 8 hours. They usually go up to 10 to 12 hours a day, because there's good amount of work here and good amount of learning. Then obviously uh, you're expected to protect the systems from security risks and malware. You will be configuring firewalls. You will be configuring intrusion detection systems, prevention systems. These are different types of technologies which we use, which we deploy in our cybersecurity. And finally, we are talking about troubleshooting computer network and security infrastructure. You may seldom come across, usually where you will be asked to do a quick troubleshooting on the network. Like for example, if you put a rule on firewall, firewalls are basically we are trying to monitor, or we are trying to put a cap on incoming traffic and outgoing traffic from our organization. So for firewall is the what do you say, the choice of what do you say, the technology or the hardware we put in our organizations. You may be expected to do little bit of network troubleshooting at times, but usually I see there are network teams who are more adept and have more knowledge to do the network troubleshooting part. But you may have to act as a supporting team member to those network teams to do that. Security infrastructure, yes, you will be required to troubleshoot the security infrastructure as well. Moving on, the next field we talk about is IT auditing and consulting field. This is more or less like an entry level position. Sorry, mid level role position. I see, if you look at my the box on the left, it talks about CISA. CISA is actually a certification, same as CISSP. It's in the field of IT auditing. We require a minimum of 5 years of experience. And CISM is another field. CISM is offered by the same organization which offers CISSP. You're required to have at least 3 years of experience in cybersecurity field. That's when you can actually digress into IT auditing and consulting. And trust me, this field does require uh, good knowledge, good on fundamentals, and good on your concepts regarding how to improve the cybersecurity posture. And you should be, so basically in this field, you're acting as a policeman of the work which has been done by the cybersecurity infrastructure team. So obviously you need to be to be at least an expert to find flaws in the work of somebody, or if you're trying to find if you're trying to find if the organization is compliant or not against different standards or different standards or different what do you say the compliance rules, etc. So on the right, we are talking about you should be good in network security infrastructure, good in fundamentals, and you should have hands-on knowledge on network security infrastructures. Same thing, we're talking about firewalls, VPNs, web proxy, IDSs.
Kindly
This is
turn off your cameras. Sorry to interrupt, Kapil. Kindly turn off your
yes.
camera, Samir Khan. Otherwise, I'll be chucking you out of the meeting. I'll remove you from the meeting. Please don't turn on your camera. Otherwise, I'll be removing you all from the meeting. Sis Autumn, this is your last warning. Please turn off your camera. Please don't turn on your camera. Rajiv, otherwise we'll be removing you all from the meeting. Anybody who's turning off your camera, please. This is one last request. Otherwise, we'll be removing you from the meeting. Satyam Singh Yadav, please turn off your camera. Nobody should be turning on the camera. This loses the focus. The speaker is saying something. Please listen to him. Don't turn on your camera. It destroys his concentration and it destroys his focus also. Sorry, Kapil. Please carry on.
It's completely fine. Thank you. Okay, so I'm just gonna switch back. Okay, humble request. Could you guys mute your mic, please? It's a lot of noise. Thank you so much. Okay, so the second point we're looking at, when you join the IT auditing and consulting field, yes, the second important what do you say? The second important requirement we are looking at is information security and processing and documenting data breaches or data leaks. It's pretty much similar to what we saw in our previous slide. We should be familiar with data analysis tools. Yes, obviously you should be able to, if you want to check flaws in the compliance, or if you want to check flaws in the security posture of an organization, you should be acquainted with data analysis tools. And I'm very proud to announce here that at FOIA Technologies, we do make you acquainted with different data analysis tools to get you in the game here. So it's a good training session. Sorry, we've got good training sessions on this as well.
Sorry to interrupt, Kapil. Sorry to interrupt,
Yes,
Kapil. Your
yes,
screen
yes.
sharing has been lost because somebody started off that camera. That's why your screen sharing
Oh,
is not there. Kindly
okay.
share your screen.
Sorry.
Fine.
Sure.
So please don't turn on your camera because the screen sharing goes on. You'll be at loss and I'll be removing you from the meeting. Sorry for the inconvenience.
Is my screen visible now?
Now it's visible. Fine,
Perfect.
please.
Yeah. Okay. So next point is third-party risk management. Third-party risk management is basically you're trying to gauge the impact of third-party or third-party businesses which are working with your organization. So, for example, you are in this ABC organization where you're a student, or you could be a teacher, you could be a lecturer, you could be the principal or the chairman of this organization, but you cannot have everything within the organization. So you do rely on other third-party companies. So for example, you may be relying on some electrical company, you may be hiring some cleaning company outside of your organization, or you must be subcontracting things to a third-party organization. They are usually, believe me, they are one of the weakest links when we talk about cybersecurity. So you need to have a good knowledge regarding your third party, and you should be able to gauge the risks involved with those third parties, and which those risks may come to your organization. And then we are talking about the security testing procedures. Again, like once you are acquainted, when you have good knowledge regarding the cybersecurity posture of your organization, you should be able to test the security procedures there. Moving on, this is our sub-vertical of ethical hacking and penetration testing. As I said, the word ethical well, we are trying to say we are on the good side of hacking. We are not going to rip people off. We are not trying to scam people here. We are here to in the business of protecting their organizations. And there's another what do you say, a complementary field here, which is called penetration testing. Penetration testing is basically you have enough knowledge, or you're able to simulate attacks on any organization, and then you can generate a report actually for the organization, and inform them that you guys may be vulnerable of the of these many attacks. So you do get to do a role playing exercise, in layman words, where you act as an hacker, but you do not really sabotage, or you do not jeopardize the cybersecurity posture of that organization in real life. So what you do is you do find what are the flaws there, and you inform the organization, and you get paid for that. Like, trust me, you get paid good amount of money for being acting as a penetration tester or ethical hacker. Usually the money lies in the second field, penetration testing, but you start with ethical hacking positions, and eventually you what do you say, you progress to penetration testing. And on the left hand side, it talks about the positions you can apply for: ethical hacker or penetration tester. Like if you Google, or if you look up jobs in LinkedIn, Naukri, or Monster, or some other job employment sites, these are the keywords you can use to search for jobs. This can be an entry level position to mid level, and it can go all the way up to director level positions as well. Like these are this totally depends on the kind of experience, on the kind of what do you say, the kind of certifications you have. But again, you can start your career as an ethical hacker or a penetration tester as well, right from the start. Now, what is expected from you is, again, we are talking about network security infrastructure. Similar to other previous slides, find all the system vulnerabilities. Think like a potential threat actor. So you're going to do a role playing exercise here in practice, but you are not going to sabotage again or jeopardize the posture of the organization itself. There's big money and big bounties hunters. Like, this is a program which, like, companies actually started, I believe somewhere around maybe 2010 10-ish, where the private companies or the big players like Apple, Google, Microsoft, they found out that we will be better off if we arrange these kind of programs every year, and where we invite actually the penetration hacker testers or the ethical hackers to come and try to find bugs in our system, and we will pay you handsomely, because obviously whenever there's a data breach, the company's name and the reputation gets dented big time. They start losing money in their stocks, etc., etc. So they figure out it will be better off to pay an ethical hacker or a penetration tester to come and report or find the bugs in our softwares or in our programming, etc., and we will pay you for your effort. So just to make it a little bit interactive, I'm just going to do a quick search on Google, uh, for just to give you a quick gist on how much what's the kind of money we are looking at.
नाइट में मर गया आपका पैसा उड़ा रहा है यार मेरे बेटे
Please mute yourself.
So there you go, sir. Well, for everybody here, for to our listeners here, just did a quick search on Apple bug bounty payout. So payout basically about how much money did you earn? If in just past 2.5 years itself, just when Apple started this program. So when we are in 23, so they started in 2020. Now, since 2020, they had a payout of 20 million USD dollars to the researchers. That's a good amount of money. I'll say in US dollars, $20 million in just past 2.5 years, with an average payout of $40,000 to an individual or a team of hackers, ethical hackers, and including 20 separate awards with over 100,000 high impact issues. That's quite a good amount of money. So if I multiply it by 85 and trying to convert it into Indian rupees, I believe that about it becomes what 80 lakh Indian rupees. Sorry, 85 lakh Indian rupees. That's a good amount of money you can earn in one single year, or depending on how it could be years for you as well to find a high impact issue. But again, depends from person, varies from person to person. But it's a good amount of money here. So this is just one of the example. Like Apple has it, as I said, Google has it, Microsoft, Oracle. You talk about big companies, they all have these kind of programs. If you report those bugs, they will pay you some x amount of rupees or dollars to find the bugs in their softwares. So definitely coming back to my field vertical slide here, I can say this is a good field to be into. And then finally, the last point is conduct simulated attacks, which I already covered. We move on to our next field. We talk about threat intelligence. Threat intel, it's a good field to be into, especially if you're trying to find an entry level positions with the security technology companies. So, for example, I don't know if you guys may have heard about Cisco. That's one of the oldest companies. They're making cybersecurity products. We have got Palo Alto. Oh, I'm quite sure you guys must have heard about antivirus solutions. Everybody must have heard about that. Probably, like, you can install antivirus on your laptop or your mobile to protect yourself from different kind of attacks. So that falls into the antivirus does fall into one of the product categories in the cybersecurity technology realm. So there are good openings in threat intelligence. The position is usually, well, majority of the time, companies advertise a name as threat intelligence engineers. And what you're expected to do is, yes, it's a good field to be in.
Sorry, Kapil, you have been muted. Just unmute yourself. Just unmute yourself, Kapil.
अनम्यूट करो सर.
Kapil, just unmute yourself.
Yes, yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, just okay. Okay, threat intelligence. I hope you guys were able to hear some part of it. Was I audible, Kishore, or no?
We're audible. Just repeat the last line. Just repeat the last line.
Okay, so the last line is like okay, perfect. So we're talking about, we're trying to collect as existing evidences and data on common attack behaviors, techniques, and indicators.
Yes, sir.
It's called TTP, techniques, tactics, and procedures. In short, we are developing new security plans. We are proactively doing cyber threat hunting here. We are trying to review common attack behaviors and techniques, protect the attack surface, and improve security posture. Well, sorry about the technical jargons here. Like it is an advanced field, but obviously once we start working in this, once you start getting training, you will get very acquainted or familiar with these terms. I guess the easiest term you'll be able to understand here would be protect the attack surface, and improve security posture. Moving on, the next field is software development. Most of us, we think about software development as the field where the developers just go in and do the coding, etc., develop front end, back end modules, and then go on kind of deal. But it is a field in cybersecurity as well. Like the companies require, or they actually spend good amount of money in training their developers to produce products which are which have minimal security flaws. And as I said, like when I talked about the bug bounty program, it was basically Apple has their softwares which were developed by some developer where there were security flaws which were left in the product. So then they started this bug bounty thing. And now the companies have realized, if you start training the developers in cybersecurity, so the moment they will start building any software with cybersecurity, with security in mind, it will be a more robust and more secure product. So it's now a requirement. This field is called, well, we must have people who are aspiring for to be in development must have heard about the word DevOps. Now it's becoming DevSecOps. And trust me, like if you have information, even minimal information or basic information regarding implementing security in software development, the amount of remuneration or the kind of salary the people make is good, is a lot. So the next one is like we talk and
Sorry, Kapil, you have been muted. Just check it out.
uh, Rajendra sir, if you don't mind, could you disable the rights, admin rights of people to mute or
Yes, sir.
unmute,
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'll
please?
do it. I'll do it. I'll do it.
Yeah, this is I guess I can understand some people find it interesting if they have, again, see, cybersecurity, so we got to apply security, minimal
Yeah,
security controls.
yeah, fine.
Okay, perfect. And I hope my screen sharing is still working. Yeah, it's yeah, I can see the message here.
Suraj, kindly.
Okay, there you go, sir. So it's as I talked about software development, and the last field is sorry, actually one more is left. So the last second field is digital forensics. So you're acting basically in layman words, like to make it more like whenever I do digital forensics class, I start my opening statement as, who wants to become a James Bond, or you want to become Krish, or you want to act as a detective, or you want to act as a policeman. This is where you are. This is the field to get into. This is actually where you get into the field. You are able to find out what really happened, what really conspired, or how the thief or the malicious actor was thinking. So you're going to think the way he was thinking. You start collecting evidences, and then you start building up a case. You work very closely with police and government of with government organizations. I did do a project for a government organization back in Canada about maybe 3 or 4 years. Now I'm out of their NDA. I'll probably won't disclose the entire project, but I was hired as a consultant to basically work on on a case, a very popular case, where a high profile executive of the company siphoned off about $6 to $8 million to some offshore account in Mexico, and the money was gone, and there was no trail there. We were not able to collect evidences, so we were called in. So I was called in as a consultant. I worked there. I worked on that project. I gathered the information. I gathered the evidences. I built up the case. I worked really closely with the police organization there, and trust me, it's a big kick. Like if you're working for, you're talking to the the senior most police officers, like even here in India, like a few of my friends, they work. Okay. Am I still audible, Kishore?
Are audible.
Okay, perfect. Okay, now this was the position we were in, and on the left hand side, the positions we are looking at as digital forensics and incident response analyst. This is what you look for, and the second one you can look for as computer security and incident response, CSIRT. As I said, this is if you want to work closely with the police in India, or with army, or with you're talking about raw in India, like, or security, other NIA. This is the field you can get into. Like one of my students, he used to work for Delhi Police, and he's doing his MTech in the university where I'm working as an expert lecturer there. He did come from Delhi Police. He worked with them during COVID time in cybersecurity. Now he wants to get his MTech done in cybersecurity itself. And the other day I was having a quick discussion with him, and he was like, well, we used to work on these different different cases, and we were closely working with the commissioner of police, or we are talking about big ranking officials. So it's you do get the kick if you're in this field. And on the right hand side, what exactly you're doing is collect and review digital evidence to create stronger security measures, investigate. We talk about suspicious network activity, identify common attack behaviors, create remediation and recovery procedures. So basically this thing kicks in when once the attack has been done, or somebody reports an attack. And one of the highlights of this profession, working in this profession, is assist law enforcement agencies during a cyber crime investigation. And before I move on to my last slide, the closest the closest example which everybody can relate to is, like, these days there are lots of scams which are happening. Like, people call you up, or you get messages from different organizations asking about, hey, look, we have deposited 5 lakh Indian rupees in your account. If you click on this link, we will deposit this money right away, or please provide your KYC information. It is very common, and I'm quite sure, like, almost 99.9% of the audience, of the people in the audience must have come across these kind of messages, or some may have fallen victim to these kind of scams. uh, in this scenario, what really happens is, what people do is, they ask you, like, if you go to regular police station, and you say, hey, look, I lost, let's say, xyz amount of rupees, somebody scammed me. You go to police, and police directs you to cybersecurity cells these days. Like in India, as I said, especially the present government, they are very aggressive in, what do you say, in cybersecurity field. They want organizations to be compliant with the new rules in India, and day by day it is getting stricter. Like, they want to catch criminals who are trying to scam people and get their money out, their hard-earned money out. So there is a huge potential in this field in coming years, and so on. So what I look, when somebody talks to me, I say that I can foresee myself retiring in this field. So I still got about maybe another 25, 30 good years to put in this field, and I can easily retire. So that's the amount of work which will be available in the coming years. It's going to increase. It's not going to decrease at all. So moving on, the last slide here, cryptography. This is more like a research-based profile. The position you're looking at is cryptographers. It is basically more or less like, relative to encryption code, strong enough to secure important or sensitive data. These are, in this kind of profile, you probably won't find a whole lot. I find, personally, I find it very monotonous, and working in cryptography or doing some research in cryptography, it's like you need to have a good amount of, what do you say, I'm trying to get the best word out, good amount of perseverance or your focus to actually work in this field. Usually you're expected to do PhD in this field before good companies can hire you. But yes, obviously, since this is a niche field, the pay packages are huge. Like the companies, when they hire you, they give you a good amount of money because you have already spent money in BTech, you did your masters, and then you did your PhD, and obviously you have a patent, one or two patents under your belt. That's why the companies hire you, and they pay you handsomely. So that's the long and short of the cybersecurity and its 7 verticals here. We talked in brief regarding that, and as I said in my opening statement, I know Froyer Technology, like I know Mr. Rajendra personally. He is he has great interest in education and especially in cybersecurity, and I know his vision. I know the charter of the company. We are in the if you are working with us for or in the field of cybersecurity, if you're trying to get the training in cybersecurity, I think we try to make custom packages or a custom, sorry, training modules for our students, and try to get you in the right field instead of bouncing you around from one place to another. I've been in India for not so long, but I've talked to different vendors or talked to different training institutes and just in Delhi NCR region, and I see no offense to nobody or no disrespect here, but I see most of the organizations, they'll just put you in a track which will not get you anywhere eventually. So you'll do certifications back to back, you spend money on training, you spend your time on certifications, etc., etc. But again, you have lots of certifications here, but but you're not equipped with the right knowledge and the right certification sets, so it's not going to help you. And at like when I've been working with ever since I have known Mr. Rajinder at Froyer Technologies, I know their charter is very crisp, very sharp. I have worked on their modules, like I've talked to him in detail regarding what exactly we are trying to accomplish here for the students, and I'm very proud, and I feel good actually that the charter is really crisp and focused for the students, because we want, at the end of the day, we want to deliver a quality education, a quality module to our students, so that when you come out of our institutes, or when you have completed the education or the training programs with us, you should be able to find a job as soon as possible, kind of deal. Or even if you're not planning, if you want to sit for higher education, your fundamentals are so strong that even if you sit for higher education, you're like, oh well, this is a piece of cake for me. So that's pretty much from my side here. It was really enjoyable, and thank you for giving me the opportunity and this platform to speak on cybersecurity and its verticals. Thanks once again. Over to you, Kishore. Thank you.
So anybody having questions, you can ask questions directly. One by one, please unmute yourself and then you can ask questions.
Kapil, I have one question on behalf of students, if you can help me to
Sure.
understand.
Sure.
So my question would be that if the person is from different streams altogether, like BBA is there, BC is there, and we have BTech. Let's take an example. So how they, as an individual, can make a career in data security and all? What are the prerequisite they would be having to start the career in cybersecurity?
Definitely. So they see entry in cybersecurity. What I've seen, as per my experience, like I've talked to or have worked with many people who have actually switched fields, and I've trust me, in North America, like if even if you do do a search on Google, on an average, like people switch about maybe 2 to 3 fields in their entire lifetime. And I have at SANS, there is a person who used to be actually a wrestler in WWE. He,
Mhm.
when he left World Wrestling, that organization, at the age of 43, he had a bad injury. He started training himself in cybersecurity, and at the age of 45 he started working as a penetration tester. And this guy's from United States. He was able to equip himself with the good knowledge in cybersecurity and started working as a penetration tester, and on an average he was making about $250 to $300 per hour. So to coming circling back to your question, there is no it's not like there is no good time or bad time to get into cybersecurity. What is really expected from the student is they need to have right set of mind. In a way, they should be uh, able to think analytically. They should be able to connect the dots. They are ready to work hard. And and the second thing, probably one of the most important things they need to look for is they need to look for a good training organization. So a good training organization, what I see is like, will build their charter or the module in such a manner they will start from the basic, and then they will uh, help you take those baby steps to mature into finally getting into this field as an what do you say, as a in mid level entry or expert level. I hope that answers your question.
That perfectly okay. So one more question I have with me. Suppose if
Sure.
one person today say that I want to make career in cybersecurity, what all certificate we can recommend to the individual to get this thing moving
Well,
faster?
to begin with, like again, I've talked about seven different verticals, or like we can go in, like for example, we pick up penetration testing or
Hmm.
ethical hacking. So the beginner certifications are like certified CEH from EC Council. That's like one of the there are beginner certifications from SANS as well, but believe me, they are super expensive certifications from SANS, like GPen, penetration tester, etc., etc. And for working as a SOC analyst, you can start the journey in cloud and cloud security. You can start working, building your career, or start earning this excuse me, certifications around security architect. So that's the kind of roadmap you can take up for yourself. But again, it will come back to, one would be the organization, the training institute, and two would be the personal interest of the student. I hope that
Okay,
answers your question.
good to go, Kapil. Thanks for your time. I appreciate.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Kapil, one last question. I
Yes,
think
sir.
people have not asked, but let's make it very clear to the students. Uh,
Uh-huh.
Take for example, BTech students are there. As Rajinder rightly pointed out, there are BCA, BTech, and BBA. Now,
Right.
BTech is 4 years duration.
Mm-hmm.
BCA and BBA, these are 3 years program, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wherein you get a degree. Now, if a student is pursuing BTech, whatever stream, whatever engineering, whatever the things are there, whichever stream they are in. Now, all of a sudden they realize कि they read somewhere कि cyber security is a heart opening. मतलब कुछ हिंदी में भी मैं बोल देता हूँ.
Right.
मतलब लग रहा है कि बहुत ज्यादा डिमांड है, बहुत ज्यादा सप्लाई की मतलब रिक्वायरमेंट है, और वो फील्ड चेंज करना चाहते हैं, तो वो कहाँ से शुरू करें और कैसे फिट इन करें? क्योंकि सर्टिफिकेशन जो मिलता है, वो सारे सर्टिफिकेशन एक्सपेंसिव होते हैं, मतलब इट्स नॉट इजी. मतलब आप वहां पे आपको कम पैसों में नहीं मिलेगा, तो कैसे इसको बिल्डअप करें?
I think we lost the Kapil.
जस्ट मिनट, ही माइट बी जॉइनिंग बैक.
It's connecting 2 minutes because it seems it's network issues there.
Fine.
Kapil, so sorry that it was by mistake our coordinator did this.
No, no, it's all good. Rajendra ji, that's completely fine.
We
Yeah,
keep
sorry.
pulling fresh requests here. So sorry for
Yes.
bothering you.
No, no, it's all good. It's all good. Sorry, Kishore, I kind of lost you.
No issues, no
Lost
issues,
your
sir.
question. Yeah, could you repeat if you don't mind?
Fine. So it's for the benefit of every participant. Take for example, BTech, BBA and BCA. These are three programs which the students pursue. ठीक है, BTech जो है वो 4 साल का प्रोग्राम होता है, BBA और BCA 3 साल का होता है. Right. So
जी,
अब किसी ईयर में किसी स्टूडेंट को ये इंटरेस्ट जनरेट होता है कि चलो मुझे साइबर सिक्योरिटी में जाना है, क्योंकि मतलब लग रहा है कि डिमांड ज्यादा है या ओपनिंग्स ज्यादा देख रहा है, तो हाउ व्हाट ही शुड बी डूइंग फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल. और दूसरा चीज की, अपनी सर्टिफिकेशंस काफी महंगे होते हैं इन कंपैरिजन टू माइक्रोसॉफ्ट, इन कंपैरिजन टू आईबीएम और अदर सर्टिफिकेशंस. ठीक है, तो कैसे ये इस पे स्टूडेंट्स वर्कआउट कर रहे हैं?
right. Kishore ji, I'm just going to reiterate your question first, and then maybe I'll try to answer. आप ये पूछना चाह रहे हैं कि different streams से, जैसे for example BTech, BBA से students आ रहे हैं, और उस सिचुएशन में साइबर सिक्योरिटी में जाने के लिए उनके पास क्या ऑप्शंस या क्या रोड मैप उनको लेना चाहिए, जिससे कि वो दे आर इन द राइट डायरेक्शन. एम आई करेक्ट सर? आप
यस 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 यस, बिल्कुल.
यही पूछना चाह रहे हैं ना आप?
हम्म.
जी, तो इसका किशोर जी, इसका बड़ा सिंपल आंसर ये है कि लाइक डज नॉट, आई डोंट थिंक सो कि ये कोई बहुत डिफिकल्ट जर्नी होगी, एज लॉन्ग एज आपके पास सही गाइडेंस है. इसमें आपका जो मेंटरशिप है, खासकर जो आपके, मैं जब किसी भी, जैसे मैंने अपने उसमें प्रेजेंटेशन में कहा है कि मेरी सबसे बड़ी चीज ये रहती है कि मैं, मेरे जो से फंडामेंटल्स हैं वो किसी भी टॉपिक को लेकर क्लियर होने चाहिए, एंड प्लस आई शुड हैव दैट, एज लॉन्ग एज आई हैव, मेरे में वो इंग्रेडिएंट्स हैं एज अ फ्रेशर, कि मैं एनालिटिकली सोच सकता हूँ, मैं चीजों के बारे में रीजनिंग कर सकता हूँ, अपने आप से सवाल कर सकता हूँ, लोगों से सवाल कर सकता हूँ, और उन चीजों को, उस इंफॉर्मेशन को कलेक्ट करके उसके एक मैं परसेप्शन बना सकता हूँ या एक रिजल्ट बना सकता हूँ. तो वो एक क्रिटिकल रीजनिंग जो सी है वो होनी बहुत जरूरी है किसी को भी साइबर सिक्योरिटी फील्ड में जाने के लिए. ऑब्वियसली ईश्वर ने सबको अलग तरीके से बनाया है, किसी की सोच डिफरेंट होती है, लाइक प्रोसेस, सॉरी, इंफॉर्मेशन प्रोसेस करने की डिफरेंट है. पर अगर आप साइबर सिक्योरिटी फील्ड में जा रहे हैं तो सबसे बड़ी चीज ये है कि आप चीजों को अगर सुनते हैं, देखते हैं, तो उसके बाद आप उसके उसके बारे में कुछ, उसका संज्ञान लेने के बाद आप उसके बारे में उसको सही तरीके से जोड़ सकें, एक पिक्चर ड्रॉ कर सकें. वो एक आपकी बेसिक पर्सनालिटी का ट्रेड है जो चाहिए हमें. उसके बाद आपका सेकेंडली आपका मेंटरशिप जो सी है वो अच्छी होनी चाहिए. मेंटर्स अगर आपके अच्छे हैं या ट्रेनिंग इंस्टीट्यूट अच्छा है, तो मेरे हिसाब से, लाइक इफ यू स्पेंड लाइक 6 months to 1 year just building up your basics, core basics, तो उसमें मेरे हिसाब से कोई दिक्कत नहीं होगी. और आई शुड रादर यूज द वर्ड कि आपके लिए ये इजी हो जाएगा साइबर सिक्योरिटी फील्ड में स्विच करना. इट डज नॉट मैटर कि अगर आप बीबीए से आ रहे हैं, बी कॉम से, बी कॉमर्स से आ रहे हैं, आप सिर्फ आपने डिप्लोमा किया है, इलेक्ट्रिकल में डिप्लोमा किया है. अब कहीं ना कहीं इन मैं, जो मेरी एक सोच है या जो मेरी एक ऑब्जर्वेशन है, मैं ये देखता हूँ जितनी भी ग्रेजुएशन की डिग्री होती है उसमें कुछ ना कुछ कहीं ना कहीं दिमाग लग रहा होता है, कहीं ना कहीं हम क्रिटिकल रीजनिंग कर रहे होते हैं एट द बैक ऑफ अवर माइंड. अगर अब फॉर एग्जांपल अब यहाँ पे स्टूडेंट्स अगर बैठे हैं, तो मैं एक जस्ट फॉर लाफ्स, तो अगर स्टूडेंट्स बैठे हैं तो वो प्रॉक्सी भी लगाना चाहते हैं, तो उसमें भी वो दिमाग लगाते हैं किस किस की प्रॉक्सी लगेगी, टीचर देख तो नहीं रहा है. So so it is like everybody has that kind of जो graduation कर रहा है उसमें majority of the people have that critical reasoning and an aptitude to connect the dots to basically form a perception to form a report. तो ये चीज अगर आप में ये क्वालिटी आप में है और उसके बाद बाकी आपको एक अच्छा मेंटर मिल जाता है तो आई डोंट थिंक सो देयर शुड बी any obstacle for anybody coming from any field to get into cybersecurity. I hope that answers your question, sir.
Fine.
जी.
Step. So, मतलब in a nutshell कि identify your strength, identify your interest और उसी पे फिर आप build up करोगे.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल आप सही कह रहे हैं बिल्कुल definitely.
Any more questions?
Any questions like from the audience? Like please feel free to ask. We are here to answer your questions. To inform you more about cybersecurity. किसी का इंटरेस्ट हो या कुछ जानना चाहें आप किसी को आगे टॉपिक को समझ के किसी और आगे किसी को बताना चाहें then please ask.
Upesh sir, if you are there, any of your students having any questions?
Because they are sitting in auditorium, so
Upesh sir, if any of your students is having any question, you can unmute and you can let me know or let us know. And one important announcement for the student, those students who have joined randomly, link से join किया है, वो अपना